Today, it's BYOB and manifesting relationships, but it's not what you think it is. All right, welcome to Meta 5 Manifestation. Hey, want to change your life? I'll teach you how right now over at meta5manifestation.com. My name's Franklin, and I got you covered right here. Check us out, meta5manifestation.com/free class for my free masterclass webinar. All right, so today we're going to talk about two really cool things. One is BYOB and manifesting relationships. Okay, so BYOB, let's get into this. It's not what you think it is. Of course, there's the common acronym for what that stands for, Bring Your Own Beverage, or whatever you want to make the B. But what I want to tell you is BYOB stands for Be Your Own Best Friend. Best friend, or be your own buddy. See, what happens a lot of times is that we get down on ourselves. Now ask yourself right now, how often in the last week have you gotten down on yourself within the last day, right? Last 24 hours. How long have you sat there and been like, oh my gosh, I'm such a cock up. Like, I make all these mistakes and I just can't seem to get my life together, right? Like, how many times have you done that? And from time to time it's okay, but really what I'm talking about is the power of encouragement, the power of edification, right? The power of mentorship in a way. Now, a lot of times we don't have a mentor on tap 24/7, but we actually do. And this is the greater point that I'm trying to get to today, is that we ourselves can be our own support system. And it's very critical that we actually learn to do that. If you look at all the best athletes, I follow college football quite closely, and I watch these documentaries, and man, these athletes are charged up. You know why they're charged up? Because they have coaches firing them up. They have teammates firing them up. They have these support systems that are constantly infusing them with energy and correction, right? Course correction, constant course correction. All of the most gifted business people and anyone that excels in any field always has some sort of support mechanism, right? Let me ask you a question right now. Who is your advisor? Now answer me that, or answer yourself that, or drop it down in the comments. Who is your advisor? Who do you go to talk to, right? If you don't have anybody, or maybe you don't have enough people or enough quality in your life, the quick way to start right now is BYOB, okay? Now, I'm not talking about turning to beverages, because don't do that, okay? Be your best friend, okay? And, here's how you do it, right? When I'm feeling just a little bit sort of discouraged, maybe fuzzy, maybe doubtful, hesitant, right? What I kind of do is I go into you mode, right? I'm just like, hey, man, you got this, right? You're fired up for this. You're ready for this. You got this. Don't worry about this. You can handle this, right? And I picture myself in some sort of scenario. Maybe I'm about to make a play or something, and I just visualize like, okay, I can make this touchdown, or I can complete this task, right? But you say, you got this. Just stop yourself. In a way, what you're really doing physiologically is you're calming your nervous system down, right? Engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, okay? And you're just sort of like, hey, calm yourself down here and get into what you need to do, okay? With major life things, yeah, it's nice to have somebody to reach out to, and that's something that you need to cultivate and I need to cultivate, right? But that can come in the form of a lot of different things. And, through the course, I teach you this whole thing because it's actually one of my 5 parts, one of my 5 levels in the Meta 5 Manifestation course. We talk about this 5th component, which is super crucial in life, okay? So BYOB, talk nicely to yourself. As I like to say, right, listen to your own inner dialogue, right, your self-talk. And when you're sort of at your worst, right, your proverbial worst, ask yourself, right, because this is your voice talking to yourself, and ask yourself, say, would I talk to my best friend like this? Would I talk to somebody else like this? Would I talk to my mother like this, right? Yeah, you probably wouldn't. Why would you use that sort of language to somebody else? Well, don't do it to yourself, okay? This is a huge manifesting secret that I've just given you right there, okay? Be your own best friend. Encourage yourself, okay? Lift yourself up. And, like everything else that I teach you, it's like It may seem weird at first, but it's a habit that you'll develop and often enjoy. Okay, next one, manifesting relationships. I'm giving you 2 today, so this is really cool. And again, these are both not what you think they are type scenarios. I'm not talking about manifesting a partner for you, okay? Manifesting that type of relationship. Although, when you think about anything that I'm teaching, it applies to this as well. So you can use everything that I say to manifest a relationship. Heck, I've done it, and I've had the most brilliant success at it. And I have the whole story I could share with you. And actually go over to my free class. I share a bit about it. meta5manifestation.com/free class. Give you my life story, my journey, ups and downs, and how I created the course that I did. Okay. So in any relationship, okay, there are dynamics, right? Now, what relationship, I want to ask you, what relationship, when you think about relationships, is the most powerful, the most dynamic? Like, let me also add this question on top of here. When you're at your best in life, how do you behave? How do you think? How do you feel? And think about those relationships as you're engaging in them, okay? Now, this may seem like stating the obvious, and it is. Relationships, it takes 2 to tango, as they say, right? Relationships are energy exchanges between people, right? And it's physiologically and neurologically true that when we're talking to people and observing them and interacting with them, our subconscious is processing way more than our conscious mind is. So you're not even aware of what's actually going on. And I can make you aware of that in my course. But this is proven out in psychology, anthropology, linguistics, everything. And when we think about relationships, right, I want you to think in terms of direct versus indirect control. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit deep and a little bit scientific on you. So I want you to follow me here. Okay, when we're talking about relationships, there's things that we can directly control, right? In anything. Like you can ask somebody to do you a favor, right? And then you can have them ask you to do you a favor, right? There's direct things that we can work on. But in any relationship, there's also things that are out of our control, which are part of any relationship. And that is not just between people. Okay, now this is the crucial part where it comes to manifestation. It also applies to things. Okay, now when we say relationships, okay, I'm going to broaden the scope out here. Not just imagine you and your friend, whoever's your friend. Imagine your friend in front of you right now, right? You have more direct control over that person because you've been friends for a long time, okay? And maybe less indirect control. But when you're talking about manifestation and you're talking about money, relationships that have not come into fruition yet, houses, objects, let's just say objects in general, you have less direct control, and there's a lot of indirect control happening, which is what it does is creates this thing called which I call a cooperative component to manifestation. Okay, and you can say this as faith, maybe, right? When you're asking, right, using my ASK, asking, you're really asking, you're saying, hey, may I have this? May I do this? May I become this? Right? There's a cooperative component in there embedded into that asking, which is saying, hey, I'll do my part if you do your part. But please, if I do my part, you're going to do your part. So you are kind of releasing control, and you have indirect control, and things sort of manifest, right? And imagine the scenario where you keep bugging the universe, or you keep bugging your friend. How much longer are they gonna be friends with you if you keep poking them in the arm? Hey, did you get around to doing that? Hey, did you get around to doing that? Hey, where's my thing? Come on, go get it. Da, 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 da. Right? Same works for manifestation, unfortunately. You don't want to become that person. Okay, so I want you to stop yourself in your tracks right now. But this cooperative component, here's how you sum it up when you're say, like, I want to manifest $1 million, right? And if in any other work, like relationship at work or on a team, right, or like anything, if you're not letting others do their job and you're being too controlling, you have sort of broken this manifestation agreement, okay? Because you're becoming the person you don't want to work with, and thereby negating this cooperative agreement. Does that make sense? Okay, so this all speaks to indirect control. Okay, your direct control is asking, hey, may I please have this? I would like this. I want to manifest this. This is what I really desire in my heart, right? And so the indirect control, and you still have control. Notice it's not direct control, but it's indirect control, okay? And this is where everyone else gets it wrong, okay? Letting go doesn't mean it's out of your control. It's totally still in your control, but it's indirectly in your control, okay? Because you're letting other people do their job, the universe, timing, things, right? Think about the question list that they teach you in school. Who, what, when, where, why, how, right? You can control all of those things except two, right? The how and the when, okay? But I feel like there's a deeper thing to unlock that I'm working on right now, that you can control the when and you can control the how, but that will come later. This is something else I'm revealing down the line through my studies. Okay, so it's like partnership agreements, yeah. And the nature of learning this is, and really, this is so important. The nature of learning manifestation, right? How to manifest properly is that it is not or non-monolithic in nature. Okay, which means there's no one way to do everything. Okay, it's non-monolithic because there's not just one way to do it. There's so many different ways to do one thing, and that's the beauty of what we have. Okay, it's everything and it's nothing, all in and of itself. Okay, so that's it. Manifesting relationships, which is really a play on word because it's manifesting relationships, not manifesting relationships. You get me? My degree's in linguistics, so I like wordplay. So there you go. That's it. Love you guys. And again, back to my energy in, energy out concept. If you've missed it in my previous videos, go back and watch them. Energy in, energy out is that you are in a simulation and you are in control. So control it with confidence because everything you need is already ready for you, in front of you. So ask, A-S-K, and follow your intuition. Yes. Okay. Well, thank you. Make sure you check out the free masterclass webinar, meta5manifestation.com/free class. It's free and you'll learn a ton. I also have a full online course. Like and subscribe to support your personal growth. Check the description for more manifestation goodies. Yes. All right. Love you guys. Have a great and wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you.